Hello, my name is Laura Stone, and today we are here for the annual IEP meeting of Jack Smith. Jack is a sixth grade student. I would like to give members of the IEP meeting time to introduce themselves and their roles. We'll go ahead with the parents, Leslie Smith and Ron Smith. Next, we have our LEA representative. We have our general education teacher and special education provider. Jack is here himself since he is a secondary level student. He is to be included on this IEP meeting as his feedback and questions are of the utmost importance. I would like to take time now for parents to review the demographic information to make sure everything on this page is correct. The primary language at home is English, so we will conduct this meeting in English. No interpreter is needed. Jack qualifies in the area of specific learning disability, and he is receiving services in reading, writing, and math. Once again, this is his annual review, and you all have the procedural safeguards in front of you to review, take home with you, and ask any questions that you have. We will then move on to Jack's present level of academic achievement and functional performance. So he will receive special education services once again in the areas of reading, writing, and math. He will receive 60 minutes of reading, 30 minutes of writing, and 60 minutes of math 5 days a week in the special education setting. Jack has taken several state and district assessments. On the iReady Math, he scored 473. On iReady Reading, 471. And the standard-based assessment in reading and math was not taken last school year due to remote learning, but he will make up that assessment in spring of 2022. Moving on, his cognitive areas, Jack has a total score of 471, which is third grade in reading according to our iReady data. He struggles with grade level phonics, vocabulary, and comprehension. He does very well reading sight words and continues to grow in our EARLA program. He moved up a whole grade level this year. Good job, Jack. Jack was able to write in sentences, but often forgets punctuation and needs assistance in spelling. His handwriting is legible and properly spaced, so I'm always able to read his writing samples. Jack scored a 473, which is equivalent to third grade in the Math iReady Diagnostics Assessment that he took in October. His geometry score was 88% at grade level 3. He scored a 439 on numbers and operations, which equates to grade level 3. Jack is able to solve 15 multiplication facts 1 digit by 1 digit per minute. He is also able to name basic shapes and continues to work on solving word problems. Jack does not have any physical impairments, nor does he have any language or communication, social, emotional, or adaptive impairments or needs at school. He is able to communicate just fine in English. He can hold conversations, convey his thoughts, and speak clearly with a strong tone of voice. He does not have visual or motor hearing impairments. Once again, he is well liked by his peers and has many friends. He's also respected by students and adults. Jack keeps his schoolwork organized and put away neatly. He keeps his materials in his backpack and retrieves them when prompted. Jack can state personal information such as his phone number, home address, birthday, and his parents' names and phone numbers. Current classroom data. So once again, Jack completed the iReady Reading Diagnostics on October 2nd. He has a total score of 471. Phonological awareness, he tested out. Phonics, he got the max score, 537. High frequency words, he tested out. Vocabulary score was 503, the grade level 4. Comprehension literature score is 487, grade level 3. Comprehension info score was 488, grade level 3. He also took several classroom assessments. His reading fluency at grade level 3 was 85 words per minute with 98% accuracy. His reading comprehension at grade level 3 was 95%. And his reading comprehension at grade level 2 was 98%. So we're still going to work towards his reading comprehension for the 4th grade standards. His ERLA reading level is 2 red. Jack took the iReady math diagnostics on the 10th of October. His scores are total score of 473, which is a grade level 3, numbers and operations at 478, which is also grade level 3, algebraic thinking score 439, which is grade level 3, measurement and data score 423, which is a grade level 2, geometry score 409, which is a grade level 2. Within his classroom assessments, he scored 88% on numbers and operations, 88% on geometry at the grade level 3, 81% at measurement at the grade level 2, and numbers and operations grade level 3 at 81%. Once again, he is also able to do 15 multiplication facts in 1 minute. Parent input. Now I would like to give parents the opportunity to speak on how Jack is doing at home and any questions or concerns they might have about his reading, writing, and math. Next, we'll move on to his work habits. So Jack is able to follow multi-step directions without reminders. He comes to class on time and ready to go. His notebook is well organized, and he writes assignments and assignments and homework in his planner every day. Jack works well independently or in a group setting. At times, he can get confused and stop working, so frequent reminders and check-ins are appropriate for him. Next, we will move on to additional documents. Transition plan is not needed. Transfer of parental rights is not needed. Statement of positive behavior interventions is not needed. Statement of language needs is not needed. Statement of provisions of instruction in Braille is not needed. Statement of language needs, not needed. Statement of required assistive technology and services, not needed. And statement of communication needs, not needed. All right, we will move on once again to some assessments that Jack has took. So he was administered 10 subtests in the Wechsler Intelligence Scale for Children, 5th edition, from which his composite scores are derived. Standard scores between 90 and 109 are considered average compared to other children his age. Jack's general cognitive ability is within the low average range of intellectual functioning as measured by the FSIQ. His general cognitive ability score is in the average range, and his overall thinking and reasoning abilities exceed those of approximately 27% of children his age. And the KTEA2 is a sample of Jack's academic skills in reading, writing, and math. Jack's brief achievement standard score is within the below average range. Jack's performance is also below average on tasks requiring the quality of expression in writing in the form of short sentences. The reading cluster measures Jack's reading, decoding skills and his ability to comprehend text while reading. His reading standard score is below average range. Standard score is a 76. Within state assessments, it should be known that Jack should have access to extra time, frequent breaks, graphic organizer, noise canceling headphones, text-to-speech, and small group testing. Same with district assessments. The last standardized test that Jack took, he was in the 4th grade. Since we didn't do it during remote learning, his reading score was 66%, writing 64%, math 40%, and he was not required to take the science, so that is not applicable. Next, moving on to the least restrictive environment. Jack will participate in all non-academic general education classes and activities and receive special education services in academic subjects of math, reading, and writing. Jack is attending his neighborhood school. In the general education environment, it should be remembered that Jack has a disability and that adversely impacts education. His needs cannot be addressed exclusively through education in general education with or without individual accommodations, and this student requires the recommended special education and related services per this IEP. Next, we'll move on to his goals. So his first goal is reading, main idea. By 12/1/2022, Jack will independently read a 3rd grade level text and will state the central idea of the text, listing 3 supporting details and explain how they support the central idea, from providing 0 out of 3 details to providing 3 out of 3 details in 2 out of 3 trials as measured by student work samples and teacher observations. His baseline, currently he is listing 0 out of 3 supporting details from a text, and the standard associated with this goal is to determine a central idea of a text and how it is conveyed through particular details. His next goal is phonics. By 12/1/2022, Jack will use his phonics and word analysis skills in decoding words from 2nd grade level to 3rd grade level in 2 out of 3 trials. The standard attached to this goal is to know and apply grade level phonics and word analysis skills in decoding words. The baseline, he is currently decoding 1st grade level words. Next is a math goal, word problems. The standard is to solve 2-step word problems within the 4 operations. His goal is to, when given 2-step word problems involving addition and subtraction, he will solve the word problem by drawing pictures and or writing equations to determine the solution. In doing so for 0 out of 5 word problems to doing so in 4 out of 5 word problems. Baseline, he is currently solving 0 out of 5 2-step word problems. His last goal is in writing. By 12/1/2022, Jack will write an opinion paragraph with 4 sentences. From writing 0 out of 4 sentences that convey his opinion, to writing 3 out of 4 sentences that convey his opinion in 2 out of 3 opportunities. The standard attached to this goal is to write opinion pieces on topics or text supporting a point of view with reasons and information. Next, it should be known once again that he receives accommodations in testing and assignments of text-to-speech, preferential seating, calculator, extended time, and sentence frames. Communication will be done every grading period to families. They will be sent home with a progress report. Parents also have access to Parent View, which is where they can see attendance, missing assignments, grades, and I have them on the Remind app as well, so we can communicate at any time via Remind on our cell phones. Jack is not eligible for an extended school year at this time. The IEP team has reviewed his progress and determined there is no evidence of regression over school breaks or an unusual lack of progress on his IEP. Next, we will go over his service minutes. So once again, he receives 60 minutes 5 days a week in reading and math, and 30 minutes 5 days a week in writing. He has no additional services, no supplementary aids or assistive technology is necessary for him at this time. If you don't have any questions, I would like to conclude the IEP meeting. Of course, I will give time for his general education teacher to speak on how he is doing in his classes, and I will be here if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you for attending this IEP meeting, and I will talk to you soon.